How's it going, bros? Today I'm going to design a summer-themed My Singing Monsters island since it's summer break. In the last part, I designed 6 double-elemental hybrid monsters that each embody 2 of 4 elements made for the island: tropical, sweet, aquatic, and coral. In this part, I will be designing the monsters with all of the remaining element combinations, which is not only 4 triple-elemental monsters, but also a quad-elemental that has all 4 elements of the island. Anyways, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Let's start with the monster that has the elements of tropical, sweet, and aquatic. I decided to base this monster off of those octopus water sprinkler toys. It has 6 wiggly, colorful hose tentacles, 2 of which have modified mallet hands which this monster will use to play a rainbow keyboard. I thought that asymmetrical, heterochromatic eyes would fit very well with this monster's wacky personality. I also add some orange blush to this monster's puffy cheeks to make them look cuter. You might have noticed how the concept art of this monster showed it squirting water out of its hoses like the toys it was based on. However, in the final design, I did not implement this. Something that I find interesting about the triple elemental monsters is that in their designs, they don't really follow the element formula as strictly, so you can kind of just do whatever you want with them as long as it's on theme. Now, let's see the finished monster. Meet Hydromallet. This monster has the elements of tropical, sweet, and aquatic. It takes up a 2x2 space and makes a marimba sound. While many think that the Hydromallet is just a simple monster with an entertaining party trick, it is actually much busier than one would expect. Believe it or not, the Hydromallet is actually a dedicated gardener. They are the ones responsible for tending to the lush greenery of Tropical Island. Instead of tediously watering each and every plant one at a time, the Hydromallet sprinkles all of the plants around it at once by using its tentacles. Whenever it is tired of watering plants, it instead plays a mellow song to help them grow. The more the plants like what they hear, the more they'll grow. Next is the monster with the elements of tropical, sweet, and coral. I thought a monster that plays the guiro would fit the island very well. I decided to have this monster's design play into its sweet element, so it makes its sound by scraping a fork against a knife, both of which have fruit slices on them. This monster was heavily inspired by the Gourmandland levels from Rayman Origins for the Xbox 360, the greatest platforming video game ever made. The knife is the large nose of an alligator-like monster that is related to Snizer from the original game. This monster has long, sharp spines along its back and tail, one of which is extra long and has a unique slingshot-like shape that allows a bird critter with a massive fork beak to sit on top of it. Since these monsters are shaped like sharp silverware, I wanted to make them look really sharp and metallic by giving them claws, blade-like feathers, and silver skin. As a final touch, I added some juice stains from the fruit slices that have been pierced. Now, let's see the finished monster. Meet Nyfzilla. This monster has the elements of tropical, sweet, and coral. It takes up a 3x3 space and makes a guiro sound. The egg of this monster has a knife handle on it, even though that is nowhere to be seen on the actual monster. I don't know why I did that. The Playbacaderm Nyfzilla is known for its sharp, blade-like nose that can cut through almost anything. The Nyfzilla mainly uses its nose for cutting fruits, whether it be for other monsters or for itself. Even though its blade can cut through almost anything, the Nyfzilla has a hard time controlling its large, heavy nose. That was until it met the pronghead, and using their similar noses, they formed a unique symbiotic relationship. The pronghead moves the fruits, and the Nyfzilla slices them. They make a perfect team. Now for the monster with the elements of sweet, aquatic, and coral. I wanted to atone for my sins with the coral single elemental by making an actual coral monster. Originally, this monster was going to be tall and was going to have 2 vertical eyes. However, I didn't like this design, so I instead made this monster much more troll-like. This monster has a rectangular body with an angry face, large eyebrows, and a big nose. One of this monster's most defining features is the fiery coral crown sprouting from the top of their head. This monster's coral is made up of various shades of purple and blue. These colors looked alright, but I honestly think I should have made the colors look more colorful and corally to make this monster look more unique from Clack Clam. Now, let's see the finished monster. Meet Atroll. This monster's name is a combination of the words atoll and troll, and it has the elements of sweet, aquatic, and coral. It takes up a 2x2 space and is a vocalist. The Atroll is simultaneously both as big and mighty as an average monster and as tiny and minuscule as bacteria. The Atroll isn't actually a single monster, but instead multiple micro-monsters working together to animate the monstrous amalgamation of themselves. Each micro-monster is joined by tiny movable ligaments, making the Atroll move like any other monster. While normal coral would dry out on land, the micro-monsters that make up the Atroll constantly circulate water through their rough, chalky skeletons, simulating what it feels like to be underwater for the Atroll. Now for the last triple elemental of the video, which has the elements of tropical, aquatic, and coral. A tiki monster is an absolute requirement for a tropical-themed island, so I knew what I had to do. This monster is a tribal-looking humanoid that wears a wooden tiki mask and holds two other masks in its hands. This monster's mask has a torch at the top of it, while the handheld masks have colorful feathers at the top. It uses telekinesis to control the handheld masks and make them float. Even though it only wears one of the three masks, all of them have magical glowing eyes. I decided to complete the tribal look of this monster by giving it colorful feather collars around its wrists, feet, and neck, as well as some tattoos. I just had to make this monster's skin green. That color fits perfectly, especially slightly bluish green. None of these monsters are animated, and none of them can be animated, but if they were, I imagine that this monster's masks would float out of its hands like Theramine with its imaginary mouths in the original game. I also imagine that the eyes of all of the masks would glow extra bright when it sings. Now, let's see the finished monster. Meet Tikitoo. This monster has the elements of tropical, aquatic, and coral. It takes up a 2x2 space and makes a masculine choir sound. This monster's name doesn't actually mean anything, it's just random tribal gibberish with tiki put in it. The mysterious Tikitoo are one of the most advanced monster civilizations. Using their tall posture and flexible hands, the Tikitoo formed an advanced society built off of arcane magic. When they started playing with magic, they discovered telekinesis and used it to build giant, ambitious structures. The most notable of these are giant totem poles that are said to represent the true form of the tropical island Colossal, whose name is lost to time, for now. All Tikitoos wear handmade masks with this same design to respect the ancient colossal spirit. So much so, in fact, that no one knows what an unmasked Tikitoo looks like. Time for the final monster of this video, the quad. One of my favorite things about the quads in the original game is how large and grand they feel, which is fitting. Because of this, I decided to make the quad a whale-like monster. This monster is huge, dare I say, gargantuan. And I wanted to play into how massive this monster was by making it have an entire mini island on its back. I added some mandatory small details to the island, like palm trees, rocks, and starfish. Since this monster is a giant whale, I also add some barnacles and scars. Originally, there were going to be small, shadowy birds flying above the island, but I decided to remove them. It's a tropical island which is tropical, so for the tropical island tropical quad, I knew I had to use the one and only king of tropical instruments, the steel pan. Even talking about a hypothetical tropical song that doesn't include a steel pan is just wrong. What was I saying? Oh right, steel pan whale. This monster's sound is made by bird critters pecking at its teeth, which are colorful keys. There are 4 of these critters that peck at the teeth. Each has a design that's based on something. The first one is the plant island critter from the original game, the second is based on a toucan, and the third is based on a parrot. For the last one, I made it the mimic. It was difficult to put the pieces together when drawing this monster, but in the end, it turned out beautifully. Now, let's see the finished monster. Meet Gargantuwhale, the quad of Tropical Island. This monster takes up a 3x3 space and makes a steel pan sound. The mighty Gargantuwhale is not only the biggest member of the Playbachyderm family, but also the biggest monster on Tropical Island. This absolute leviathan is so large that it even has a small island on its back. Flying critters from all around the monster world occasionally crash by and relax on Gargantuwhale Islands. Whenever they get hungry, they use their beaks to peck at fungus and debris that gets stuck between this tropical giant's teeth, which enforces a symbiotic relationship between the Gargantuwhale and its residents. And that is it for today's video. The tropical island Colossal needs a name, so I'm going to be hosting a poll on my community tab where I will let you guys choose between 3 names. The options are Hibiscus, Estival, and Kahakai. The winning name will be revealed in the final part of the Tropical Island series, where I'm going to be designing all of the remaining monsters. The seasonal, the ethereal, the mythical, and the epic Wubbox, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, as per usual, make sure to like and comment so that more people see this video, and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Enderboy, out. Just keep your feet on the ground and move your head all around. You put your hands in the air and move with the sound to the earthquake.